Have you ever wondered how your phone can find a single word in a super long text message, like instantly? Well, the secret is this really clever concept called string indexing. It's one of the most fundamental ideas in all of programming. And today, we're going to break down exactly how it works. So, let's get into it.
Think about it. When you read a book, your eyes can just jump to the first letter of a chapter, right? You don't even have to think about it. But a computer doesn't have eyes. So how in the world does it navigate a sentence or a word or the entire internet to find one specific character in one specific spot? Well, that's the puzzle we're going to solve today.
To solve that puzzle, we first have to get our heads around how a computer sees text. And here's a hint. It doesn't care about meaning or grammar at all. For a machine, it's all about the structure. And in the world of programming, that structure has a name, a string. A string can be a single letter, it can be your name, it can be an entire novel. As long as it's a sequence of characters all strung together, a computer sees it as a single string. You can really think of it as the basic building block for all text in the digital world. So let's use our title word here as the perfect example. To you and me, this is the word explainer. But to a computer, it's just a chain of 9 individual characters, all linked together in a very precise order. E, then X, then P, and so on. That order is absolutely everything.
So if text is just a chain, how do we find one specific link in that chain? Well, the most obvious way is to start at the very beginning and just count your way forward. Programmers have a name for this, positive indexing.
And here's the key idea. Every single character in that chain gets its very own unique address, kind of like a house number on a street. In programming, we call this address an index. If you know a character's index, you can jump right to it. No searching required.
But, and this is a big but, this is where computers think a little differently from us. There are 3 simple rules. Rule 1, you always start from the far left. Rule 2, and this is the one that trips up every new programmer, trust me, the count starts at 0, not 1. The very first item is always at position 0. And rule 3 is easy. From there, you just count up by 1 for each character.
So let's apply these rules to our word. In explainer, that first E is at index 0, the X is at index 1, P is at 2. You get the idea all the way to the final R, which ends up at index 8. So if you tell the computer, hey, give me the character at index 4, it doesn't have to search, it just knows instantly that you're asking for the letter A. Pretty neat, right? Okay, so counting from the front is pretty straightforward, but what if you need to find something at the end of a really long string? Well, programmers have this elegant little shortcut for that, and it's called negative indexing.
To see why this is so useful, just imagine this problem. You're given a string, but you have no idea how long it is. It could be 10 characters, it could be 10 million. How do you reliably grab the very last character without having to count all the way from the beginning?
Well, you could do it the long way. You could ask the computer for the total length of the string, which is 9 for our word, and then you'd subtract 1 to get the final index, which is 8. That works, but it's 2 steps. Or you could use the shortcut. And this is the magic of negative indexing. You just ask for the character at index -1. That's it. 1 step.
Negative indexing is just a second addressing system that works in reverse. Instead of starting from the left and counting up from 0, you start from the right and count backwards starting from -1. And this means the last character, no matter how long the string is always at index -1. The one before that is -2, and so on down the line.
So here it is, the complete map for our word. Take a look at that last letter, R. It actually has 2 valid addresses. Its positive index is 8, and its negative index is -1. And the same is true for every single character. That first E can be found at index 0 or at index -9. Having this dual address system gives programmers this incredible flexibility to grab exactly what they need from whichever end is easier.
So, you might be thinking, why did we just spend all this time mapping out a single 9-letter word? Because this exact concept, this system of addresses, is running silently in the background of almost every piece of software you use every single day. Let's look at just a few examples. You ever see an avatar with just your first initial? That's a program grabbing the character at index 0 of your name. Need to check if a file is a PDF? A program uses negative indexing to check if the last 4 characters are .pdf. It's used for everything, from validating phone numbers to reversing text, all the way to analyzing massive strings of DNA in scientific research. The applications are practically endless. So the crucial takeaway here is this.
String indexing isn't just some clever trick for finding letters. It is the absolute foundation for how we access, control, and manipulate data. It's what gives us the power to pull any sequence apart, examine its pieces, and then put them back together in totally new ways.
And that's the real power here. This simple system of addresses, just counting from 0 and from -1, unlocks a whole universe of possibilities. It transforms a boring, static line of text into a dynamic, explorable world of data. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know how to pinpoint any character, anywhere, what hidden patterns will you start looking for?